Yo, what's up, football fans? Yeah, so the first football reaction was we were together as well. You remember when we reacted to Mercy?
Yep.
Yeah, so today we're going to be reacting to Understanding European Soccer in 4 simple steps, a guide for Americans. We are not Americans actually, but she doesn't really know much about football or soccer, or it's called football. So yeah, let's see if she's going to understand with the 4 simple steps. So let's go.
Understanding soccer in Europe in 4 simple steps.
Is there subtitle? No, yes. Let's hope. Okay.
Americans. Although from the outside it may seem complex and confusing, to understand how soccer works in Europe, you really only need to know 4 things. Number 1. Each country has its own soccer league. Seasons run from August to May, in which each team plays every other team twice, once at home and once on the road. Games are divided into 2 45-minute halves.
Why are you so fast?
Team twice, once at home and once on the road. Games are divided into 2 45-minute halves, and when the game is over, the winner is awarded 3 points, the loser 0, and in the event of a tie, each team gets 1 point.
A draw.
After each team has played all the other teams twice, the team with the most points is crowned champion of the league. They get
Everyone knows
trophy,
this, right?
a parade, and the season is over.
What's that?
It's talking about the league. Like England has its own league. What league is? It's like a system of what football is. So there's 20 teams on each leagues. So every team plays the other 19 teams 2 times. So that's 38 games, 19 times 2, right? So the person with the most points wins. When you win 1 person, you get 3 points. So the person that loses gets 0. But if you guys play like 0, 0, 1, 1, you get 1 point.
You take point.
You get 1, 1. Yeah. The end.
There are no playoffs. Sort of. But more on that in a minute. Before the books are closed on the season, there is still one small bit of housekeeping to be done. Number 2, relegation. We'll use the German league as an example.
So what's relegation? Okay, let him explain.
Here,
if you don't get
the German league has concluded and a champion has been crowned. The 3 teams with the least amount of points are kicked out of the league. This process is known as relegation. The 3 vacant spots are subsequently filled by the top 3 teams from Germany's 2nd division. And unlike, say, baseball in the US, teams in the 2nd and subsequent divisions are not owned by teams in the top division. Imagine if the Pittsburgh Pirates or Oakland Raiders had to fight at the end of each season just to stay in the league. What if instead of coasting to the bottom for better draft picks, they were fighting to the bitter end, to avoid the $40 million revenue loss that relegated teams suffer in the first year alone? Not to mention the fact that in England, 9 different...
It's talking about like relegation. Out of the 20 teams, the one with the lowest points, the last 3 on the table, they go down. They are out of the league.
They are out of the
out of the first league.
Yeah,
so the second league, the top 3 from there, they come up. So the last 3 from the first one,
they go down, and the first 3 from the second one, they go up. You understand? Like there's the first one, like Barcelona, Real Madrid, stuff like this. When they play, the last 3 teams that has like the lowest points, they go down, they go out of this stuff because they're
not playing anymore.
Yes, they're not playing with Real Madrid and Barcelona. They're playing in another list. And the second list, the first 3 teams, they go up to play with Real Madrid and Barcelona and stuff.
So it's like League A, League B, League C.
Yes.
So League A is for the best teams.
For the best
League B is like the next. So in League A,
you're gonna play with League B.
No. League A, the teams that are in League A, 20 teams. So the last 3 in the League A, when you are the last 3, you go to League B. So the first 3 in League B go to League A.
You understand?
After the end of the season.
You shouldn't understand.
So you get money for going up. And you lose money for going up.
Financially insolvent within 5 years of relegation. Okay, interesting enough, you're thinking. What about that whole lack of playoffs part? Number 3. Each country also holds an elimination-style tournament, referred to as a cup. But instead of being
so this is the cup. So the last 2, if you beat this one, you go. If you beat one, you go. That's what a cup was like.
After the 9-month league is over, cup games are scheduled in between league games, normally in the middle of the week. One additional perk about the cup system is that teams from all levels, down to semi-professional and even some amateur teams, are invited to play. And if they do well, can progress, and occasionally even knock off a top team. So every year, these midweek elimination games continue until there are only 2 teams left, who play each other in the cup final. After 90 minutes, a cup champion is crowned, they get a trophy, and a parade. So, between the league and cup games, we get a great picture of who the best and worst teams in each country are. But wait a second, you ask. What would happen if the best teams from each country in Europe all got together and played each other? Good idea.
That's the
Number
Champions
4.
League. Huh?
The resulting competition is called the UEFA Champions League, and it is without a doubt the single greatest club competition of any sport anywhere in the world, period. Think of the NCAA tournament, but with better quality of play, more than double the...
So the Champions League is like for European teams. From Spain, you know there's Madrid, there's Barca. So the best teams from Spain, they come. The best team from Chelsea, Man U, Man City, they go. From England, France, Spain, the big countries, European teams, the best teams from there, they come together to play the Champions League.
Fan base and quadruple the enthusiasm. And yes, Europe even has their own version of the NIT as well. So, through a complex and drawn-out process, teams from all over Europe compete just to qualify for this tournament. And starting each September, the top 32 teams are put into 8 groups of 4.
32 teams.
Each team plays the other members of its group 2 times, once at home and once on the road. Come December, the winner and runner-up from each group move on to the knockout round. And this is where club soccer is at its finest. Teams are paired up individually and again play one home and one away. The winner from each pair moving on to the next round until...
even teams from Turkey as well. They can play in this league. Greece, all of them.
The Champions League final is then held as a single game each year in May. And unless it's the World Cup year, this is the most important soccer game of the year. After 90 minutes, a champion is crowned, the trophy is awarded, parades commence, and all clubs go on break until the madness fires back up again in August. So, to review, number 1, each country has its own league. Number 2, the worst teams are kicked out of the league and replaced by the best teams from the next division down. Number 3, throughout the year, each country also holds a playoff-type tournament called a cup. And number 4, the UEFA Champions League is a tournament involving all of Europe and is the most important competition in all of club soccer.
Oh, very interesting.
Did you understand?
No. No, I mean, I understand, but like 20%.
Okay. I mean, at least you understood 20%. If there's a more simpler, if there's a simpler video to break down what soccer is to, guys, let's know in the comment section. She's gonna try to understand. Yeah. So, that is understanding European soccer in 4 simple steps. A guide for Americans. I had to see next time, guys. Peace out.